What are the things you regret not doing in your 20s? Oh my gosh, I'm still in my 20s. So what are you saying? What are the things you regret not doing in your 20s? Hey guys, it's your girl Leni, and this is a channel where we pursue our best selves yet. For today's video, I'm gonna be answering some questions that you guys sent over from Instagram. So let's get right to it. Shall we begin? We shall. First question is from Yana Lee _22. How do you cope with stress? I do a lot of planning. So for me, coping with stress, it's usually all about not knowing what I'm supposed to do or what I'm supposed to do next. So I try to figure out, okay, nasaan ba ako? How can I do better from here? And that ultimately helps me feel better. So usually I'm stressed out by the things that I have control over pero hindi ko ginagawa ng paraan. So yun, I'll try to tackle that task, whatever it is, as soon as possible. Tapos yun na, mawawala na ako ng stress. Also, really good sleep, exercise, having enough work-life balance to hang out with friends, watch Netflix, just have some self-care activities. Okay, question number 2 is from I am Clifford Cruz. Hi, do you think it's possible to fall in love with someone after a few weeks of knowing each other? It really depends on the context, I would say, and the kind of people that you guys are. For example, if dun sa few weeks na yun, lagi kayong magkasama, ang dami nyo nang natutunan about each other, you have been able to have deep conversations na normally you wouldn't have within a few weeks. Personally, hindi yun possible for me just because I feel like I'm the kind of person who takes her time to really get to know another person and takes my time getting to know myself with this person. So ako, hindi ko kaya a few weeks. I would take months, maybe even a year. Because issues, but I don't know. If it's possible for you, then maybe it is possible. Okay, next question is from nrr.dry. How to manage insecurities or jealousy? So for me, as a naturally celosa person, I think for the whole of my life, I've been either celosa or like I've had my own share of insecurities. Pero what I learned was the most helpful, if for example, sa sarili mo lang, is to really build your self-esteem. Like build your self-esteem to the point na you don't look to other people to compare yourself, you know, and even when you're in relationships or in like a romantic relationship, hindi ka nagsiselos because you are secure in who you are and your own value. Na pagka, okay, if they do something to cheat or to leave you, then okay, that's their loss or something like that, you know. Parang, it really depends. I think it's 90% personal self-work and then 10% with your partner. It really helps to have a good partner with you. Pero a lot of that responsibility is still yours to fix. So ako talaga, it's a lot of getting to know myself, understanding my value, etc. Next question is from... Ooh, gusto ko tong question na to. Wait lang. This is from autumns_r_ashes. Ate Ayn, what's the best advice you could give to someone who wants to live alone abroad? I would say do your research and do it so meticulously na hindi ka mahihirapan sa pag-move mo. So there are many ways to move abroad. You can either find a job abroad, you can study abroad, you can go on vacation and then find opportunities there. Pero personally for me, who went through the Auxiliares de Conversación program, I have videos over here. I'll link it dito. I moved to Spain and I taught as an English language assistant. If you want to do that, then apply for the program through the Ministry of Education sa Embassy of Spain. Meron akong video dun sa lahat ng questions nyo about like moving to Spain. Pero in general, like a general advice would be to prepare a lot, like financially, mentally, Emotionally, because even though you are an independent person, moving abroad can still be alienating, especially if it's a place na hindi ka sanay sa climate, hindi ka sanay sa culture, hindi ka sanay sa community. So, i-prepare mo yung sarili mo mentally. Ako talaga sobrang na-miss ko family ko. Sobrang talagang na-miss ko yung culture here na may nag-aalaga sa'yo pag may sakit ka, ganyan. Tapos, laging mainit. I love warm weather. So, during the winter, it was just so, it was so bad for me. So, yeah. Prepare mentally, emotionally, physically, and make sure na pagka lumipat ka, ginusto mo talaga yan. From Croco Jael, what are the things you regret not doing in your 20s? Oh my gosh, I'm still in my 20s. So what are you saying? What are the things you regret not doing in your 20s? I'm still in my 20s. I still have 2 years. Honestly, like no regrets so far. I'm still feeling good about my decision so far. If anything, hopefully ito na lang. Gusto ko ma-achieve before my 30s. I really want to invest in real estate and I want to invest in MBA education. So I want to get started with that before I get to my 30s, just because I know na in the future, if I have my own family and if I have more responsibilities, I might not be able to give myself time for those endeavors. So sana while I'm in my 20s, magawa ko na sila. Okay, next. This is from Diane Antoinette Areza. Why Leni? So the reason I'm voting for VP Leni for the presidency this coming May 2022 elections is because she is somebody who has proven time and time again na maaasahan siya, na magtatrabaho siya, na transparent siya, na kahit anong gastusin niya para sa kahit anong proyekto ay gagamitin niya para sa pagkabuti ng Pilipino. Yun yung nangyari nung pandemya. The Office of the Vice President has been present sa lahat ng kaganapan during the pandemic, the calamities. Lagi silang on the ground first. And I think we need that kind of leadership. Another thing is very inspiring yung way niya ng pagli-lead. I personally witnessed it during the Pangasinan People's Rally, and nakita ko kung gaano kabuti yung influence niya sa mga tao, kasi everyone there was a volunteer, including myself. So nakita ko talaga na parang wow, if yung leader pala na sinusundan ay mabuti, ang ganda ng kalalabasan. So, it's just very inspiring to see. And I trust na pag nahalal siya at makaupo siya bilang presidente ng Pilipinas, it's the same thing she'll do. Okay, next question is from Solana. What is your love language? Okay, so originally I thought that my love language is words of affirmation, acts of service, blah, blah, blah. But I realized na wala lang pala akong pera. And all I really wanted to do was to give gifts. Gifts pala yung love language ko. As in, I love being able to spoil my loved ones, my family, my siblings, my parents, my jowa, ganyan. Anyone na, even the small things, like parang if I see something sa mall or like I'm shopping online and I see something that is parang reminds me of somebody, I'll get it for them. So wala lang, that's my love language pala. I didn't realize na it was that until kaya ko na magbigay ng gifts, kasi talaga before I was so like super nagsiscrimp ako on everything. Anyway, next question. From Ma'am.Mewi, Ate Ayn, how do you approach people na alam mo sinisiraan ka pag nakatalikod ka? If I'm sure na sinisiraan ako sa likod ko, I cut them out of my life. This has happened to me several times in the past, especially when I was younger, and I really just cut them off. Especially people na wala namang ambag sa life ko. I was just like, you know what? Whatever. If you don't like me, that's okay. But I don't have to sit around and tolerate your presence in my life. So I just stopped talking to them. And now that I'm older, I'm turning 28 this year, I feel very confident that I'm surrounded by people who genuinely care about me and I genuinely care about. And they don't, talk about me behind my back. Kasi nga, during my early 20s, ginawa ko na yung effort ng cutting people off. So everyone in my life right now, I really trust, I really love, and I genuinely think na we have good relationships. Next question. Ate Ayn from VIIXIXIX_. Bakit ba pinapahirapan niyo ako sa mga username niyo, guys? So complicated. But anyway, Ate Ayn, tips paano maging productive everyday para sa mga maraming activities gaya ko. Hello, fellow Bibo kid. Ako ay katulad mo, very, very Bibo din ako, and marami akong ganap sa buhay. I would say the number one thing is to understand kung ano ba yung end goal mo. Kung yung mga bagay na ginagawa mo ay aligned dun sa main goal mo, yung purpose mo, why you wanna do things. Number 3, kaya ba ng energy at time mo? Dapat hindi ka nagkakasakit. Dapat, kahit na ginagawa mo to lahat ng to, hindi ka pa rin nagsusuffer as a human being. Dapat masaya ka pa rin. Now, if masaya ka pa rin naman and productive naman, plan. Give yourself time to sit down and zoom out, check what your week, your month is gonna look like, and plot yung mga activities na meron ka. Don't say yes to everything, say no, because ayaw mo na masana yung mga tao na yes lang ng yes kapag ka ikaw yung pinag-uusapan. So, say no kapag kailangan, set your boundaries, and make sure that you only do what you can deliver. You only promise what you can deliver. Next question. From Daya Marie, advice on getting yourself to do work even if you don't want to. I would say you have to ask yourself a deeper question. Why do you need to do this? For example, if it's work na sa trabaho mo, why do I need to do this? Because I need to submit this proposal to blah, blah, blah. Why do you need to submit that proposal? Because this is, find 7 layers of whys. Tanungin mo sa sarili mo, bakit ko kailangan to gawin? Bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Hanggang sa dumating ka sa point na you'll find a reason that's deep enough that will enable and encourage you to do that task even if it sounds like nakakatamad siya. Kasi, for example, to give you a concrete example, Ayn, you need to create YouTube videos. Pero tinatamad ako ngayon. Wala akong energy. Wala ako sa mood. I'm not in a really good place to film a YouTube video right now. But why do you need to film a YouTube video? Because I wanna stay consistent sa channel ko. Why do you wanna stay consistent sa channel mo? Because I want to perform well and to be consistent and deliver to my audience. Why do you wanna be consistent and deliver to your audience? Because I care about the community that I've built over time. Why do you care about the community that you've built on time? And so on and so forth. And if you find a deep enough reason, hang on to that and just do the task. Also, another practical tip, just set the timer for 5 minutes and then gawin mo yung task na yun for 5 minutes. Sabihin mo lang sa sarili mo, okay, after 5 minutes, kapag ayoko pa rin siya gawin, I'll stop. Pero usually, once you've started something, tuloy-tuloy na siya. Pero if hindi, take a nap. Next, from Maya Nicole. How do you feel when you see young people look up to you and call you Ate Ayn? To me, it's a very, very fulfilling title or name. Ate Ayn is very, very fulfilling for me to hear because I am the ate of the family. So I'm the first granddaughter, daughter, niece in both sides of the family. So I've always been Ate Ayn my whole life. I've always been ate. So sanay talaga ako na ate yung role ko. And honestly, it's my favorite role in the world. Until I become my mother, I think my favorite will be being a big sister or an ate. And I just feel honored that a lot of people look up to me and call me Ate Ayn, even though sa internet lang kami magkakilala and sa internet nyo lang ako napapanood, because I feel like I am able to fulfill my purpose in this world. And it's not really to act like a role model or whatever, but I feel like I am becoming the person that I needed when I was younger, and in turn, I am also becoming the person that a lot of young women, young men need. It's so weird to say that because parang savior complex. Pero kasi, like when I was younger, wala akong ate. Since ako nga yung ate, wala akong ate talaga. So, naghahanap ako lagi ng figure to look up to and for me to follow. So now that a lot of people call me Ate Ayn and, you know, look at my life and think, okay, I want that as well for myself, it's really fulfilling. And I hope I can continue to do the same thing. And I hope I don't let you down, guys, because at the end of the day, tao pa rin si Ate Ayn. Next question. Okay, I like this question. This is from Mommy Cherry. How to deal with family members who always compare you to other more successful cousins. Ayan. Okay, so like I said earlier, I am the ate of the family, but that doesn't mean that I was always the most successful, most matalino, most everything in the family. In fact, like, I wasn't always like the Ayn that I am now. Kasi right now, parang I think I know what I'm doing with my life. But before, especially academics-wise, hindi talaga ako yung best performing. And medyo mababa talaga yung like bar that I set for my siblings. Like, my siblings are just like so much better performing than me. I failed a lot of my entrance exams in college. I was a shifter. So, you know, it was just really difficult academics-wise because I struggled as a student. Tapos, yung siblings ko are just more talented and more matalino than me. So, I didn't really struggle with comparison though because I never looked at their success as something that pulled me down, if that makes sense. Parang, if people were to compare me to them, I wouldn't take that personally. As in parang, I just shove it off. I just don't think about it too much. Kasi for me, when my siblings, my cousins succeed, to me, that's a win. And I really try to celebrate that, you know. Like, for example, when my sister got into Ateneo, which is my dream school, tapos I didn't get into Ateneo. To me, you know, I didn't really see that as something na I had to like be envious about. Parang, I guess I've trained myself to celebrate the successes of the people that I care about. And whether it's my cousins, my friends, my siblings, my parents, whoever, if they're doing well, I'm happy for them. And kung kino-compare man ako in the process, it's like, yeah, whatever, well, andito pa ako eh. Ganun lang. It's just admitting to myself that I'm a work in progress and that's okay. That's okay. So yun, parang kanya-kanya lang talaga tayong time. Tapos ngayon, I'm in a much better place now. So, I'm also happy. So, I hope that, and I think they're happy for me as well. So, alam mo yun, like, I just try not to think about it as a competition or like as something that's worth comparing. Kasi magkakaiba tayo ng talents, magkakaiba tayo ng skills, and magkakaiba tayo ng timelines. Next question. Ay, nako, ang ganda ng question ni Ven Sumo about my skincare rotation. I'm gonna make a dedicated video about my skincare rotation because I've been using so many different products that I'm just obsessed with. I can't wait to share them with you guys kasi feel ko talaga yung skin ko lately. Okay, I guess the last question that I'm gonna answer for this video is from Mikara, or Mix as I like to call her kasi close na kami. Char! How do you deal with negative emotions, ate? So for me, dealing with negative emotions, iba-iba talaga yan. Sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's sadness, sometimes it's fear. If we're talking about fear, I try to look at fear as excitement, nervousness as excitement. Like I ask myself, okay, why am I so scared about this? Is it because I care about this thing a lot? Is it because I am very passionate about it? Then I try to look at that thing as a good thing. That's with fear. Now, if we talk about sadness, sadness is an emotion that, of course, I'm very familiar with because I'm human. I know what it's like to be sad. But also, anxiety and depression, right? For me, it really helps to have a good support system, number one. Number two, have a list of things that you can do to make yourself happy. So ako, over time, I've discovered things that make me happy. Like, for example, going for a walk. Walking outdoors makes me happy. Number 2, cleaning makes me happy. Number 3, taking a nap makes me happy. Number 4, putting on makeup. Watching Netflix, preferably K-drama, makes me happy. So I just have a list of things that make me happy in general. And I just allow myself to take time to do those things. If I have to step away from people, then I let myself do that. And I just let myself process my feelings and really feel my feelings until either mag-subside siya or I can do something about it. Now, anger. That's another negative feeling that I think a lot of people struggle with because it's so intense. But for me, dealing with anger, I've had to like take a step back and really figure out how to deal with my anger. Kasi syempre, lalo na me being an online person, I get a lot of triggering comments, very rude comments on a daily basis, and sometimes it gets really frustrating to deal with so many of these negative comments na ako talaga nakakagalit talaga. And oftentimes, gusto kong mag-clap back, gusto kong magalit right back. Pero I tell myself, okay, what's the most productive way to go about this feeling of anger? And if it's concerning, social media, ganyan. I try to ask myself, okay, what's this gonna do? Like, is this worth it? Is this worth the effort? Next thing that I ask myself is, what can I do about this para hindi nasa ibang tao yung narrative ko. So, I either create my own video that's calm, that's like explaining my side, but at the same time, not really shoving or like sweeping anything under the rug. Kasi ayoko din yung sinusuppress ko yung negative emotions ko. I wanna deal with my negative emotions head first so that I can adjust them and then I can let them go. Para nakakatulog ako na maayos paggabi. Alam mo yun? Kasi pagka sinusuppress ko yung emotions ko, ang hirap talaga. So yun. I try to deal with those. Also, communication, meditation, breath work really helps. As in, like, that helps a lot. Well, anyway, I'll reserve the other questions for another video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I hope you stay confident. If you like this, please subscribe, comment below, like, share, etc. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Stay confident!